Well, good morning, everyone. I am Jessica Motter, and I'm so excited to introduce you to an amazing woman, my friend Erin Paige. She's going to share with you more about what she's doing and how she's helping people. So she's an amazing woman. She has so many different things that she's great with doing. She's an author. She does workshops. She creates. Like, she's just very creative, and I just love like all the hearts that you make and all the good that you're giving back. And she's got an amazing new project she's working on. So I'm going to let her share more about that. So Erin, share with us your new project.
Oh, hi, Jessica. Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me in this moment in time with you and for just inviting me to share a little bit about what's going on with me. Yes, I'm an artist, author, do all kinds of different things, and I like to say that I do everything through the heart. And so you wouldn't be surprised when you see all my artwork is hearts. But one of the things that I'm expanding into is it actually started with me. I was really looking at my life and looking at how, you know, we can get into our pity party sometimes, and we can wallow in that pity. And when I speak to groups, I talk about that often. How, give yourself your pity party, but don't. It's how long you stay at the party that matters. So I was having a little bit of a pity party one day, and I was like, wait a minute, I live an amazing life. I live an amazing life. And I was like, so I'm going to go live an amazing life. So I started doing this hashtag of GLAAL and GLAL. And people started going, what's GLAL? What's GLAL? And I was like, well, go live an amazing life. And so I thought, well, let's take it to the next level, and I want to hear other people's stories on how they're living an amazing life. And you so graciously were a participant in one of my GLAL interviews, and I'm interviewing more and more people. And it's, especially in this interesting time that we're in right now, it's so important to remind ourselves that we live an amazing life. And others need to hear that as well, because your story may resonate with someone differently than my story. And the more that we can pay it forward, I think, by going out and sharing our amazing life and how we're seeing the good, even in the not so good. I don't like to use the word fail or that things are bad, because they're not. They really aren't. It's good, or maybe it's not so good. But how can you turn the not so good into the good and get out of the pity party that we, sometimes let ourselves get into. So GLAL is really, it's my new baby, if you will. I think it's coming from a very heart-centered space. I've just been called by divine, I call it divine liquid love that flows within us. God, spirit, the universe is always flowing through us. And I just got a message that said, you need to take this to the next level. So I'm very, very excited to see where it all goes.
Awesome, Erin. Thank you so much for sharing that. And what would you say, like, are some of the things that you do to have an amazing life? Like, do you have a daily ritual or routine, or like, what do you feel like are some of the things that have helped you like get out of that pity party and
Sure.
you live in an amazing life?
Well, one of the things that I'm fairly consistent with is before my feet hit the floor in the morning, I say, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I just got goosebumps, because I think it's so important to express appreciation and gratitude and thanks for waking up.
Right? I know right now, especially, right? Like, people used to take that for granted. Now it's like you're happy to have lungs in your, breath in your lungs, and
Right.
your heart's beating and
Right.
waking up.
I mean, that's, the first thing, that's what I do. I'm like, oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And I've become very aware of what's working for me. I can tune with how my body's responding to an environment, to the people that I'm around. One of the, I just cherish my artwork, my talks, the people that I interact with so much, that if I'm not in the right alignment,
Mm-hmm.
then I can't be my most authentic self, and I can't radiate from that heart space. So if I'm feeling a little wonky, or, you know, we all have that, I love the word cattywampus. Sometimes we're just kind of feel like we're in this tube and we're trying to get out. And I go on a lot of walks, or just take a quick break and go, you know what? This environment right now, this group of people, one of the things I share a lot is, if you're not feeling it, get up and go to the bathroom, you know, excuse yourself, and stand in the stall with your feet on the floor, your hands at your side, and just breathe. I mean, how many of us, I mean, you probably have experienced this too, where we've probably driven 5, 10, 15 miles and we haven't even taken a breath.
Mm-hmm.
And we forget that we've got to have that oxygen in our soul, divine soul, to be able to function in the best way that we can. So kind of like an adult timeout, you know? Yeah, I just need to excuse me, but I'm going to take a restroom break, and they don't need to know. They
Right.
don't
We need to
know.
know you're like in the stall, like
You're going, please give me the grace to get through this, right?
right.
So anyway, that's something else that I do. And oh, well, there,
Sounds like
I have a new puppy,
like,
right?
yeah, right. It's so funny because I have 2 kids and I've got this thing on my door. It's called a door monkey. Like, see it right
I see
there.
it, yeah.
But it keeps the door shut. And I was like, okay, before this like Zoom, like hopefully, you know, the dog doesn't bark and the kids aren't crying and all of that. But yeah, I totally understand the background. Like, this is life, right? Like, I think it's one of those things, like, people used to be like, oh my gosh, like kids and dogs. And I'm like, you know what? No, like, we're at home working, right? We're staying at home. And even if we had an office like elsewhere, like, who cares? Like, someone's mowing the lawn outside right now. And but I think it's a good reminder that you need to go take a walk.
Yeah, well, I remember
It's time for you to take a walk, right?
yeah, I told him that I was gonna take him on a walk after we were finished. But little things like, you know, let me just end with this. And the little things that we get so stressed out about are just so unnecessary. You know, worrying about if the kid's going to walk in or make noise, or the dog and all of that. You know what? It's just life.
Right.
It's just life. And so anyway, thank you for.
Well, thank you. And your shirt says "Love Life," which is the first part of my book, so I love it already. And then it says
Love life, dream bigger. Love life, dream bigger.
So tell us what that means. Like, where did you get the shirt? Like, tell us what it means.
Well, actually, I used to sell these. I sold out of them, so I probably should bring them back. I have ones
Sounds
also
like you do.
that say "See the Good," and it's actually my son's handwriting when he was about 9. I couldn't find a font at all that I liked, but yeah, live life, dream bigger. It's just like, dream big, like so big that, like, it, what's his name? James Cameron, the Avatar. Is that right? The
Sounds
director.
right.
Is that
That
right?
sounds right.
Anyway, I saw an interview with him, and he was like, okay, the reason why Avatar became what it became is because I took my goals of this film and I had it here. And then I went, not high enough. And he goes, I made it so outrageous.
Right.
He goes, I didn't attain the top goal, but what I did was, if I had gone here, I probably would have ended here.
Right.
But instead, since I knocked it out of the park, I elevated it to a whole different level.
Yes.
So exactly what you, I know you stand for. It's like, just think big,
Right.
like bigger than you've ever dreamt.
Yes.
And there are people out there that will help you
Yes. Well, even just like I talked about, like even for the podcasts and the YouTube channel and things like that, like just gotta keep dreaming bigger. And I actually was listening to some training the other day, and it was talking about like listing out your dream 100 people that you would like to meet. Like I'm talking think big, right?
Yeah.
And like it's got me in such this creative space to think about like, and a lot of those people are probably 2 connections away, because if it's can't, you know, like they say like it's 6 degrees of separation, like there's a lot of times it's only like 2, right?
Sure.
Especially in Kansas City, I feel like. But even more so, not even Kansas City, like I think about I want to meet Oprah, but I'm only 2 connections away from her. I'm like, okay, like these are big names, big people. But like you said, dream bigger, right? Like just keep dreaming bigger. And they say you shoot for the moon and sometimes you fall upon the stars. And hey, guess what? If you did, like that's better than most people. Most people are just sitting on the couch and eating bonbons, right? So
That's
just keep
right.
dreaming.
Yeah. Well, I have big audacious goals for GLOW, and it'll happen.
Yes,
It'll
I'm
happen.
excited
It'll
for
gonna
it.
go beyond Kansas City for sure. I
Yes, well,
feel it.
thank you for
Yes,
coming on
thanks.
today and just
Yeah.
sharing about GLOW and your projects. And you know, like
Thanks.
you're an amazing woman, so you do so many things and you help the world, like not just even our community but the world in general. Like when you put the greatness out there and the gratitude, like that just sends ripples of greatness throughout the world. So thank you for being who you are, Erin, and being an amazing friend, and thanks
Thanks.
for your time today. Love
Yeah.
you.
Love you
Good
too.
day.
Thanks, Jessica. Bye.